Hello there, thank you so much for joining me today, celebrating the Trinity Stamps release hop. Today I am sharing a Halloween inspired card using the new Hocus Pocus set. So let's get started. To start off the card, I am using the moon layers to create the moon. I trimmed down the white color cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches and taped it down to my work surface. I then placed my stencil down and used my magnets to hold the stencil in place. There are exposed areas on the cardstock that I don't want to accidentally blend ink onto, so I placed a few sticky notes to mask off those areas. For the first layer of the moon, I am going in with my yellow blending buddy and yellow shade of ink to fill in the opening areas. Then, rotating the stencil, I aligned it with the next layer. The next layer provides a little more detail, so I'm going in with an Earl Grey ink to blend in the area. Then I went ahead and rotated to the third layer. And this layer has even more details. I am using a slightly darker shade of gray in the color mushroom and blending that in with my blending buddy. Now I'm going to go back in with the first layer, and I'm going to use the leftover ink on my blending buddy to blend around the edges. And here is the results. This stencil makes creating a moon super easy. I just love having this in my stash. Okay, so now we're going to create the background blend. I am using A2 foundation stencil and taking the smallest circle from the set to mask off the moon. I am masking off the moon because I want to create a night sky. To hold the stencil in place, I just popped my magnet on top of that. Since my surface is magnetic, the magnet will hold it all in place. Now going in with a yellow shade, I blended that around the edges of the circle stencil to create a radiant effect. Then going in with a green shade of ink, I blended that onto the cardstock. I know this looks a little crazy, but you have to trust the process. Now to add more depth to the scene, I am now going in with a dark shade of blue ink. I am blending this heavily around the edges and bringing it upwards towards the green ink. Making sure to go back and forth between the two colors to create a smooth transition between the colors. Now to add to the starry night sky, I like to add paint splatters with white paint in my paintbrush. I applied white paint onto the acrylic block and sprayed it down with some water to dilute it. Then going in with my paintbrush, I used that to splatter all over the card panel. I will link all of the products down below if you're interested in taking a better look at it. Okay, so to create a gloomy night, I am now using Trinity Stamps October Sky Stencil and blending white pigment ink onto the opening of the stencil. I really love the stencil for Halloween because it makes it so easy to add that extra detail. To make the center of this card panel pop more, I went ahead and used sangria ink and blended that all around the edges of the card panel. Off screen, I colored in the cute images from Hocus Pocus Gnomes. I used the coordinating dies and ran that through my die cutting machine. I added bats from Full Moon set that I die cut out of black cardstock. I adhered it to the background panel using liquid adhesive and added details using a white gel pen. I also went ahead and popped up the gnome with the foam squares. I stamped out a few sentiments from the set using VersaMark ink onto black cardstock. I did condition my cardstock using an anti-static powder tool beforehand to prevent any embossing powders to stick onto areas that I didn't want it to. And I also poured white embossing powder over and heat set that with my heat tool. Using the coordinating dies, I ran it through my die cutting machine. I did run it a few extra times so that I can layer it for dimension. I adhered it to the card panel using liquid adhesive. I then adhered it to a top folding card base. And that's it. I hope you found some inspiration and follow along with the inspirational hop. Don't forget to follow my channel and comment down below for a chance to win a gift card to the Trinity Stamps website. Until next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.